Welcome to the Pittsburgh Dish. I'm your host, Doug Heilman. Do you know about the almost hidden cooking school gem at Phipps Conservatory? This week, we meet Tess Monks, who reveals it all. Where does a rock star chef dine on their day off? Kate Romane takes us to Hey Babe. And looking for an introductory dish to Thai cooking at home? Suwanee Lennon shares a recipe to get you started. All that ahead. Stay tuned. The Pittsburgh Dish is supported by Chef Aleka LLC. From private events to a pasta from scratch class, Chef Aleka does it all. Visit her website at chefaleka.com to see her latest offerings and book your next culinary experience. Now, on to the show. Well, thank you so much for coming over and for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Would you introduce yourself to our listeners and what you have going on right now in the world of food?
Yeah. So I'm Tess Monks. I'm the Culinary Programs Manager at Phipps Conservatory, where we have a kind of secret hidden little, it's our Botany Hall teaching kitchen. It's sort of a hidden gem.
It is.
It is. Yes. And we're still getting new students all the time, which is really exciting. I'm in there 5 days a week. We're running classes. We've got instructors from all over the city, all sorts of different backgrounds. We stay really busy in there.
I have to say, I accidentally discovered Botany Hall Kitchen a few years ago, and I think maybe you had just come into that role. And as you said, it's part of Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens, but it's off to the side in this beautiful building from 1901?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not on your beaten path. So if you've been to Phipps before, you've seen the flower shows you've been through, you would have to go kind of out of your way, know where you're going to find Botany Hall, where our teaching kitchen is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, an older building. It's really beautiful. The space that the kitchen is in previously was what Phipps calls a dirty classroom. So they were potting plants in there and diagnosing plant problems and doing kids programs. And then it's been renovated into the state-of-the-art teaching kitchen that it is today.
Yes.
Those renovations finished up in, I believe, May of 2018, and it's been a functional teaching kitchen space ever since.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful in there.
Yes. You said state-of-the-art. I would say it looks like something off of a TV set, and there are cameras and things. So even if you're taking a class, right, you can see some monitors at times. You can see what the chef or the cook is doing.
Yeah, it's got some Food Network energy
it does.
For sure. We've got a couple cameras in there, and they mirror the countertop action. So when a chef is doing a demo or when someone's chopping something up, sautéing something, we have cameras on that, and then we'll stream that through the TV. So there's not a bad seat in the house. You can either see it from a few feet away or in the back of the room through the cameras as well.
Oh, I love this. And since we're kind of on the topic of what a participant would experience, let's kind of go through a few more things. Class size is usually 12 to 18?
Yeah, exactly. A good class, a good fit for a good class, we typically will put people in 4 groups of 4. So we max out at 16. It works really well recipe math-wise too, so that works out. But essentially, you sign up for the class. You're working with the same equipment that the chef is working with, kind of center stage at the front of the room. And then whether you've signed up solo or with friends, you're kind of in a group. So not all the pressure is on you to get everything exactly right. You're working with some other people, which makes it really fun as well.
Yes. And we should say too, if someone is a member of Phipps Conservatory, they usually get a discount on a class, right?
Right. Yeah, there is a slight discount for members. And then they're also the first to know about it. So they get the mailer in the mail. So I think that's almost just as valuable as the discount because the space is a little smaller. It fills up so quickly. So yes, members do get a discount and makes a great date night.
I was looking just this morning before you came over, and you are programmed out till the end of the year, but a lot of classes do fill up. So being a member and getting that alert or email or whatever ahead of time is super important. Let's talk a little bit about some of the classes and even some of the goals. Your chefs and the folks that are coming in are teaching not only recipes, but also some culinary skills. And is it true that sometimes the chefs can go out to a garden at Phipps and even get some produce? Am I right?
Yes, you are right, which makes it very Phippsy. I like to say my little word there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, in an ideal class, especially like we're rounding out the fall season right now, or the summer season kind of rolling into fall. So we've gotten so much beautiful stuff from the garden. So whether we're harvesting it ahead of time in case we need kind of a big bulk of things, but ideally, yeah, we're getting students out in the garden before class, even if it's just to harvest a couple fresh herbs for a garnish.
Yeah.
But our horticulture team does a really great job of getting a ton of produce from out of the garden. We've gotten peppers, tomatoes, even some really spicy peppers this year that were fun to play with. We did a hot sauce class. So yeah, we're very plant forward. We garden to table concept is always top of mind. We're still doing pierogies. We're still doing wine night, but always trying to get people out into the garden and make that connection wherever we can.
And did you just say you have a team going out to pick, but will the chef or even the students have moments where they could go out on certain classes?
Yeah, for sure. It really just depends on the class. Like
and time of year and things.
Exactly. Yeah. If we're doing salsa, we let the horticulture team take care of the 30 pounds of tomatoes we're going to need. But if we have a class, we've got a couple classes this week and we just need a little bit of basil, a little bit of oregano. So we'll hop out before the class and harvest some of that and talk about growing it at home, how to save it, all those things.
How fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's do this. Since you've already mentioned a couple, salsa and maybe pierogi. What are some of the classes that you've held that were really popular, sold out super fast? And maybe what are some things that are upcoming right now?
Yeah, how many examples do you need?
You have so many classes. And to your point, we've had great chefs on this show, and I've seen a lot of them in your classes.
Exactly. And I was scrolling through your podcast and listening to a ton of your guests. I've got some imposter syndrome today. You had some really great people. But yeah, we've overlapped a lot. One class jumps to mind. We've run it a few times now. Botanical focaccia. We've actually done that with Chef Aleka, who's been on your show a couple times. And as well as Chef Emily. Shout out to her. But
Chef Emily Larson.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Spilling the soup is what I know her handle by.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. That's her little biz. So shout out to Chef Emily. But yeah, botanical focaccia sells out right away. We're able to make focaccia bread. The chef will demo how that works, putting the fingers in the dough and making the perfect dough out of it. And then while the dough is rising, people will cut up peppers, shallots, herbs, whatever it might be, and decorate their own. We have these quarter sheets that people will do it on. And at the end of almost all of our classes, we share a meal together. And it is like almost impossible to get these people to eat what they've made. They just want to take it home and share it with their family. Yeah. They've made their own little masterpiece. And I mean, they've really gotten creative. We've seen campfires. We've seen oceanscapes. We've seen, of course, botanical flowers and things.
So they're doing bread art on the focaccia.
Yes, just out of herbs and different veg and how to cut it. We'll cover some knife skills. So whether you want rings or strips, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
But people get really into it. It's a lot of fun. So if anyone didn't make it into the next round of botanical focaccia, there will be more. Don't worry. We'll be running that, I think, forever.
Oh, well, that's great. And then we also get into like some more like culturally specific food. I've seen several Indian-based classes. I think you're just about to have a Panamanian food
tonight.
And then you bring in a lot of other chefs too. Isn't EYV coming soon and doing like a chef's table? Yes,
Chef Mike down at EYV. He's excellent. We've had him a number of times and we'll continue to have him back again and again. He's down on the north side. EYV stands for Eat Your Vegetables. And he just really puts them as, makes them the star of the plate. And of course, it's a very perfect fit for Phipps. Very plant forward. His accommodations, he's like a magician the way he can make accommodations for everyone. And everything is so delicious. And I'm not a big mushroom person, but let me tell you, I will eat whatever he puts in front of me. He's been really great.
Oh my gosh.
I also have Chef Jay, who is our Indian cuisine chef.
Yes.
And she's excellent. She's really the full package. She can talk about the food and how it's prepared, but she can also talk about, that her grandma used to make it this way, or it was a street food for her growing up and things like that. So Chef Jay is another one. If someone is interested in Indian food, it's a whole cultural experience with her. It's a lot of fun. And the food is always great.
She's done several classes. I think she's the one I've noticed.
She arguably has done some of the most. She was one of the first chefs to be in that space after the renovations were complete. And I just saw her again last week. So she's in there all the time.
I want to mention maybe just one or two more or classes. Chef Rachel Homan.
Oh, yeah.
She does a lot. Tell me some of the classes she's led.
She's another great chef. I've met a gold mine of instructors through Chatham University's Master Food Studies program, and they all come with kind of an already niche area. They're experts in something. Chef Rachel's really a jack of all trades. So if we get a kind of off the wall class request, she's one of the first ones I'm calling. So yeah, she's covered a lot. We've done pasta from scratch again and again with her. She's covering our Taste of Panama class tonight that we're leaning into Phipps tropical Panama exhibit right now. And we've done a couple Taste of Panama classes. So she was able to pick that up. She teaches at Crate Cooking School as well. So she's really well-rounded. She can do a lot, and she can really lean into whatever the topic is that we're trying to cover.
Years ago, Chef Rachel and I did a kids cooking camp, and I was so green at being in a commercial kitchen, and she was great. So love that you have her. Yeah,
she knows her way around. She's great with all audiences. So happy to have her on board.
Well, you have me thinking, too, about audiences. And I think what we've been talking about mainly are more adult-centric classes. Are there programs at certain times of the year for kids or young adults?
We've done a lot of summer camps. We'll bring them in summer, and oh my gosh, they are so much fun. And it's such a breath of fresh air compared to, having the adults in there all the time. We've done a lot of stuff with them. Again, making connections to the garden, making sure they know where their food is coming from and how important it is, teaching them about compost and food waste and all these things. So in the summertime, we have more of the kids programs happening. Throughout the school year, we have field trips come in, and they'll do little classes here and there.
Into the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's great.
A lot of the field trips that come through will just tour, but we've worked with a couple groups that, just because the space is so small, we've worked with a couple of groups in smaller size. We've been able to bring them through and do a little garden to plate lesson with them, and they're always excited to get a snack.
I would just say, as a youngster, I would have loved that.
Oh, yeah. They love it.
So that's something for folks to keep an eye on coming into the summer. Why don't we continue into the fall and winter beyond some of the cooking classes where you're actually making maybe a full meal or a full recipe? I think I noticed there are some that you could maybe be doing drinks or appetizers. Is that right?
Yeah, we try and cover a little bit of everything. So definitely around the holidays, we're doing small plates and appetizers and vegetarian-friendly Thanksgiving sides and things like that.
Yeah.
Beverages are really fun. We've got a really fun duo, Drew and Hannah. They've done some botanical beverages classes with us. So we've got a Halloween one. We're doing a holiday one.
I think I just saw this one. It's coming up, I think, on October 17th, botanical beverages.
Yep. Get
All
it?
right. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we actually ran it last year virtually, and we had such a good time. We're like, we're going to do this in person. This was too much fun. We got to bring everyone in here. So we've got some really fun drinks from Drew, and then we've got some fun plant knowledge from Hannah. So we'll make a drink, and Hannah will talk about the botanical properties of the ingredients that we're using. Drew will sprinkle in a little bit of trivia. We have some really fun garnishes. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, I love that. And then as for the appetizers and things, I know I've seen tapas, dim sum, and maybe just like general like spreads and things for your holiday. Am I right?
Yeah. We've got all those going on. We have one series right now called Gather Around the Table. So that's our tapas and dim sum and smorgasbord classes, which those are all very popular. And then we've also got shared and small plates for different seasons. So we're doing Halloween, Thanksgiving, and the holidays. So lots of good stuff to come there too.
Have you seen attendees come back again and again in terms of participants? Do you have some regulars that have sort of fallen in love with these classes?
We do. We do have some regulars. It's interesting. I usually ask ahead of a class how many people are there for the first time. And it's almost consistently half and half. So we get a good number of repeat students, but we're still getting new students, new first timers all the time. But yeah, we definitely have some repeat students. I think some of them should be teaching the classes by now. They've been here a good bit. I think they could probably jump in if I needed them to. But yeah, always have some first timers too. And then we have people who have come, they've come 10 times, and then they're bringing their sister, or they're bringing their boyfriend or something. And so then we've got new first timers. It's always a good crowd.
And I think you mentioned this earlier too. You are typically sharing things at the end. You're sharing a meal or whatever you've made or prepared. So it's really a wonderful experience because you're learning, you're engaged. And I think so many people are about that now. They're about going out to find a unique experience. And even if they've come to one class, there are so many other different classes. You should keep looking at that calendar.
Absolutely. It's a great gift idea, actually. We get a ton of people that come in, oh, this was my birthday gift, or this was our anniversary gift or something. People love an experience. I think especially after COVID happened and everyone, was like stuck inside for a minute, everyone's just eager to get out, learn something new. It just is so much more fun to have a hands-on experience and be part of it. And we get a lot of people come in who the class was purchased for them as a gift.
I have like sort of one more like logistical question now that I'm thinking about this. Have you had anyone buy a whole class like for, I don't know, a bridal party or something crazy like that, or a birthday? Has that happened?
We've had some private rentals. We don't lean into the private parties too much.
Okay.
It's typically because we're scheduled so far out and availability is just tricky. So we're still a small team trying to do what we can in there. We do some private rentals with local organizations around culinary medicine. So UPMC, American Heart Association, we've worked with them and done some private events where they'll bring in a specific audience and we're tailoring it to maybe a medical condition or, a teach the teacher model. So those are really special programs.
Yes.
Not too much in the private bridal shower world. We've done a little bit of that, but we see the space as an education space before an event space. So we kind of lean in that direction as far as what we're planning and what we're taking in.
I think that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. This is Tess, the Culinary Programs Manager at Phipps Conservatory, and you are listening to the Pittsburgh Dish.
Tess, I just love everything you're doing. And you have built such an incredible program over these few years. You said 2018, and here we are in 2025. So 7 years later, so robust. How have you done that? Like, how long have you been in your role building these classes and programs?
Yeah, so I started I just had my 7.5-year anniversary. So
congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah. So I really started and it was a really blank slate. They had just finished the renovations on the space. So Chef Jay had already been around. We had a couple other instructors who had seen this space. So I kind of started with them and learned what I could. I do not have a professional culinary background. So it was a lot of learning on the fly and having a lot of fun figuring things out as I went. Phipps is also, a big leader in how they wanted the space to operate and what directions we wanted to lean, where our priorities were at. But yeah, I mean, the food scene in Pittsburgh is so well connected. Every time I find a new chef or a new instructor, they know somebody that I'm already working with. They might recommend someone else to me who I can bring in. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know everybody and run around the city to all the fun food spots and figure out what everyone's talking about. Really excited to be part of that community here.
I've even noticed you've had some instructors in the past that were on their way to opening a space. And by hosting a class, it's a great platform for them to showcase what they can do. I know the women that own Third Space Bakery did a class or two. And I know you've had a couple of other chefs along the way.
Exactly. It's a perfect space for someone who might need some workshop experience or they're new to the scene and they kind of need to, want to find their footing. Like I said, Chatham University's Master Food Studies program has been a great gold mine for me of networking and people, and they all know each other and they're all connecting me with each other. So Emily Foster from Self-Reliant Seitan, we've done some classes with her.
Oh, great. Yeah.
You have a lot of support going in. I'm going to be there to help with the sourcing, to help with the timing, to help with figuring out how the class should be marketed and kind of a little bit of a stepping stone for someone who's kind of trying to start their own thing. It's a good space for that.
I think it is just like this other gem on somebody's culinary journey, because we know Emily, she's been on the show and she has been vending Self-Reliant Seitan, and now she's going into a physical space, but to then be in a platform where she can show and showcase how to use her food product. What a great news story.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Are there any other moments in building this program that you are really proud of?
We've had a lot of really cool people come through this space. We've done some private programs for different organizations locally. One comes to mind, specifically, we worked with UPMC Children's Hospital Family Hospice Group. And they actually were able to come in. They had a whole curriculum, and it was how to manage grief through cooking and how to kind of go on with life after losing a loved one and being able to navigate the grocery store again and figure out how, building your appetite again. And we were able to do this with the kiddos and their families and, just giving them good food and getting them to feel good. And that was one of the top tier ones we've done for sure.
Incredible. That's so powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I see how that tie to not only cooking just to learn, but to the medical world of Pittsburgh. What a unique and good synergy there.
We've also worked with Pitt Med School. We've done mini culinary medicine elective where the students will come in, they'll learn a recipe, they'll learn knife skills, kind of how to cook something. Maybe we're covering sautéing or we're covering roasting. But that recipe is designed to complement a case study. So we also have a practicing physician in this space. They're sharing a case study around a specific condition, and then we're creating a meal that you would essentially prescribe to someone with that condition over medicine. Yes. So, and all of these students, I hear again and again, they only get such, little time studying nutrition and dietitian, that area at all, so they're really thankful for that experience. I'm not even sure they get credit for it. They love coming
they
in.
Love doing
it. It fills up really quickly every time. Really just feel good stuff. There was a few students that came out of that program that went on to do their own cooking programs and private meal prep for people, but depending on their conditions and things. So really great stuff to come out of that program.
Tess, we're talking about folks that are kind of going through their career and doing some great things. You mentioned earlier that you were not in the culinary field when you took this position. What did you go to school for? What was your background?
Yeah, so I really wound up here in such a roundabout way. I went to school for communication and marketing, and I had a lot of fun with that. I played with that for a few years after graduating. And then I found myself in nonprofit management throughout Pittsburgh. I've been with a couple organizations, was looking for something new. I had actually applied for a position with the events team, but had just helped manage a culinary program at the last organization I was with. I was talking about that in my interview process. And then they ended up saying, we had just finished the renovations on this kitchen. You might be interested to go this route instead. So, they showed me the space and it just felt like a really good opportunity to build something up. And Phipps has such beautiful vision for things. And I was happy to be a part of that. So yeah, my background's in nonprofit management, and now that I've got a food component in that, I don't think I'll ever be happy in a job without it. It's the ultimate connector of people. And it's just a really great tool to educate, whether that's nutrition or culture or, relevant events, whatever's going on. Food is just, I think, the perfect tool to teach it with.
I couldn't agree more. Did you grow up in the Western Pennsylvania area?
I didn't. I grew up in North Central Pennsylvania, kind of in the middle of nowhere, really rural area. Grew up real meat potatoes and, farm life. I didn't grow up on a farm, but, surrounded by them for sure. I actually grew up a pretty picky eater. I kind of followed in my brother's footsteps. I didn't know how wrong he was, that there were all these delicious foods out there. So yeah, I've come a long way in the food world. Excited to have been able to branch out and try new things after growing up in kind of rural Pennsylvania.
Well, that's what I was going to ask too with this experience then, since you mentioned it was pretty meat and potatoes and picky. What are the lessons you've sort of picked up and now you're putting down for yourself in the kitchen?
I get that question a lot. Like, what's my favorite thing to make, or what's my favorite kitchen skill sort of thing. I really think the most valuable skill is just being able to make a meal out of what I've got in the fridge already. I think it makes all the difference in the world. I know people get really hung up on having every exact ingredient and running to the store 30 minutes away to make it happen, and knowing your substitutions and knowing where you can cut corners and adjust things is, I really think, the most valuable thing I've been able to learn and apply to my life super directly at home.
I am right there with you. And I have said it, I think, just on another recent podcast, it is that flexibility in cooking, that think for yourself, and freeing yourself from a recipe. A recipe is a great place to start. But, once you make it once or twice, you you should have that freedom to walk away from it and do your own things. And to your point, a lot of folks just need to know, hey, I've opened the cupboard, I've opened the fridge. Is there something I can make? What can I make? And you start getting all of these combination ideas probably from seeing all of those classes.
Yes, exactly. And it's funny, in classes, we typically don't give someone the recipe, give the table the recipe, because they're working ahead, or, they're trying to follow it to such a T. And, we're trying to explain, this is simply, you'll get the recipe later, I promise. Yeah. But this is simply a guide. You should make what you like. And if that means an extra clove of this or a little less of that, then you should make those adjustments.
Right. And so many things can change, even from how you cut a vegetable. And, maybe somebody, just chewing is a problem for some folks. So, maybe things need to be smaller or bigger, and just letting folks go with that preparation moment is really freeing.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, just knowing how to cut things can really make all the difference. I hate when you have a meal come out and you have to cut it up yourself. Like, I do that at home. What are you doing here? So yeah, I think knife skills is really just really easy answer as far as like what you can learn and what really comes in handy, what's really valuable, like a transferable at home skill. And the kitchen is a nice place, these classes, because you don't have another distraction. You don't have, the TV's not on in the background. Someone's not asking for your attention. So it's a really nice space to be able to just lean in and learn a skill and put it to practice. Mm-hmm.
I love what we called kinesthetic learning. You do it. You're physically doing it. So.
Yes, the space is built perfectly for that.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's so beautiful. You have to go. So why don't we do this? Let's move forward. I'd love to think about, where is the kitchen program going? Do you have any new vision or goals for the coming months or next year? Anything you want to add on or expand?
We're in a really good place, and we're talking a lot about that right now. Kind of what is the vision? What does happen next? I know culinary medicine is an area that we really want to be a leader in the Pittsburgh area. Mm-hmm. So trying to figure out how to be the experts in that while also bringing in the experts in that. So that's a really important space. I feel like sometimes I feel a little tunnel vision, but it really does just feel so important and so relevant right now. And culinary medicine and plant-based whole food medicine and recipe building, they all go so hand in hand. Mm-hmm. It really is the perfect complement. I'm also part of a really fun group called PitMer. It's the Pittsburgh Museum Educators Roundup.
Oh.
And so there's handfuls of us from different organizations around the city, and we have some kind of stirrings going on with a couple of them and how we can work together. And, I keep saying, like, anybody can use this kitchen. Food is just the ultimate tool. So trying to figure out how we can work with some other partners in the city. We've got some exciting stuff cooking up, should I say, with some of my colleagues from that program. So more to come.
That sounds perfect. And you said it earlier, food is the perfect way to bring people together, including organizations, and how you learn from each other. I did sort of have a side question. You mentioned how great Phipps is, and I think everyone loves it in terms of their vision. Whoever it is that helps to govern Phipps and say, what are the good things we're doing and what are things we should start doing more of? What are they saying about the kitchen program at Botany Hall?
All good things. We really have had such a successful kind of build up of this program. Like I said, I started with a really blank slate, and we have some really strong repeat programs while we're still bringing in new stuff. And it's also, there's always going to be that balance of high-end revenue generating events, but also really mission driven, community supporting events as well. So being able to do both and wear all the hats has been a really good challenge. We offer a good variety. So whether you're the picky eater like me who doesn't know anything, or, the seasoned home chef who needs to hone in on, sharper knife skills or something.
There's something, get inspired.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just have fun. At the very least, you're going to have fun. So I'm excited to see what new things we add to the lineup.
Yeah. I'm excited as well. I was looking at the lineup now, which I think is through the end of the year, right?
Yeah, we've got everything finalized through the rest of this year. I'm actually, one draft away from our spring lineup, which runs January through April. So while was just 80 degrees outside yesterday, I've got nothing but soup on the brain for planning for next semester. We got some fun Valentine's Day stuff coming up too. So my mind is already there.
You're in the right role.
I think so too.
Yeah. Let's start to tell folks how they can attend a class if they are new to this. And I will say, I was looking at the lineup through the rest of this year. There are a lot of classes that are already sold out.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a problem, but I guess it's a good problem.
Yeah,
it's a good problem.
And you're having usually a couple classes a week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Multiple classes a week.
So if somebody is listening and they want to check out the class lineup or that one that's coming up for next year, where can they go and find that? Can you remind us of the website and maybe any social handles as well?
Yeah. So on the website is all of our classes. So not just culinary, but floral design, landscape design, botanical craft, all sorts of things. But you will find a culinary section on there. Any of the classes that are sold out, you can add yourself to a waiting list. So, it's always worth a try.
Yes.
We don't get too many of those, but sometimes the stars align. But yeah, just check out the website.
And I did some research earlier. The website is www.phipps.conservatory.org. But honestly, if you just search Botany Hall Kitchen or Phipps Culinary, that's probably a better place to get you directly somewhere in that website.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll find our classes on there. It'll be the second week of December that we'll be posting our next January through April kind of lineup. So again, lots of classes on there are sold out right now, but check back soon. Check back early December. We'll have more stuff coming up.
Yeah. You still have some openings for this year.
We do. We do.
There's some fun stuff.
And we have some, I should mention, we have some virtual classes too, which are really fun. So when you sign up for those, you get a shopping list from me and any prep work, which we keep light. It's usually just wash your vegetables and preheat your oven or something.
Okay.
But you sign in through Zoom at home and cook along with, it's usually Chef Emily Larson, and you just cook along with her from the comfort of your own home. At the end of the class, you've got a meal ready for your family. It's a lot of fun. And I like to spy into all your kitchens. So that's a really fun, our virtual classes are another great option to learn some things.
Wonderful. And Tess, if people want to just follow what you're up to, are there any social handles that you'd like to share?
Yeah, for Phipps, for sure. They have just at Phipps Conservatory. Definitely you can follow them. And then I've just got I want to shout out all my chefs. I could list 100 of them. But all the chefs that we have in the kitchen, would not have as much fun or as much success without them. So shout out to all my chefs.
Oh, so good. Well, Tess, it's been so fun getting to know you. I think I only have one more question for you today.
Okay.
The name of the show is The Pittsburgh Dish. What's the best dish you've had to eat this past week?
I've heard you ask this question and I meant to make a mental note to have a good answer and I didn't, but I still do. I still have a perfect answer. I just went to breakfast brunch at Lola's and their breakfast egg rolls are just amazing. They're to die for. They're incredible. So is the rest of their menu, but I'm still thinking about that.
I was also just at Lola's last week for breakfast. Had the best donut.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. And their breakfast sandwiches and all the things are killer. So Lola's is in Lawrenceville, a Best Bite.
Yes, we love Lola's.
Tess Monks, thank you so much for taking some time. And thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thank you so much for having me. I still feel imposter syndrome, but so happy to be here. This is really fun.
Well, thanks again. Up next, we check in with Kate Romane for a day off dining pick. Hey, everybody. We're joined today with Kate Romane, chef and owner of Black Radish Kitchen. Kate, last time when we were together, we talked about a lot of great food that you're putting out, other chefs that you're sort of helping out to take to the next level. I was wondering, when you have a day off and you're going to go out to eat yourself, is there a spot that you like to go to?
Usually my day off is Monday, which is hard to eat in Pittsburgh. And thankfully, Hey Babe just opened up.
Yes, over in East Liberty.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And they have this eggplant dish.
I have had that eggplant
Oh,
dish.
my God.
It's crispy. Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
We've had several small plates. This is in the space that was occupied by the bar of the Ace Hotel.
Right.
Now it's the Maverick Hotel. But Hey Babe is its own independent sort of restaurant thing happening right there.
Yeah.
They also have great specials and happy hour.
The happy hour, the golden hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's worth it. It's so good. And the wine list, one of my faves. So
Yeah. Awesome. We're trying to get them on the show, by the way.
Oh,
So,
really? Yeah. Rob and Danielle, two of my faves.
Perfect.
Cool.
Kate Romane, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thanks.
If you're looking for an introduction into Thai cooking at home, Suwanee Lennon has a recipe to get you started. Hey everybody, we're joined today with Suwanee Lennon of the Great American Recipe Season 4 on PBS. Suwanee, last time we talked all about your cultural heritage, which is Thai cuisine. You gave us a recipe for a Thai pesto, which I thought was so amazing. But I understand that you have another recipe that you'd like to share with our listeners. Is that right?
That is correct, Doug. I would love to share another recipe with you.
And is this am I saying it correctly, Thai Larb salad?
No, Doug, you're fired. You have to say I'm sorry, I was teasing. You have to say Lap, L-A-A-B. I know the spelling is L-A-R-B, and a lot of pronunciation in the US is Larb.
Yes.
But that is actually a blasphemy to the name of the dish. Okay. And yes, to be authentic. Be authentic, you have to say lap, like a quick short lap, L-A-A-B, without the R in it.
All right, lap.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now you're back on.
All right.
You're not fired anymore.
Thank you so much, Suwanee. So walk us through this dish. If folks are not familiar, what are some of the components and how do you put it together?
Okay, this lap recipe, you can use ground meat, pork, chicken, beef, even tofu for those that want to do plant-based. It's a salad, very simple salad. You quickly cook the meat in a little bit of water. Then you use a lot of fresh herbs, very easy. There's shallot, garlic, cilantro. Then the sauces are lime juice, fresh lime juice, fish sauce, of course. There's no Thai food without fish sauce ever.
Right.
And then you want to add toasted rice powder, which is the icing on the cake per se for this dish, the dry toasting of rice in a pan, and then you grind it up a little bit, make it as chunky or as fine as you like.
Okay.
Sprinkle that on top, add that into the salad, and then make it as spicy as you like with fresh or dry Thai chilies. It's super adaptable, versatile, just an amazing dish to have and try.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like it's just packed full of flavors, and I've never done a toasted rice powder. How interesting.
Yes, it just adds that element of texture and crunch to the dish. It's just so addicting. It's so addictive.
Oh, so good. Well, Suwanee, we're talking about lap, if I'm saying that right.
Yes.
And we'll put the recipe up on our blog and link to your site as well for so many other recipes that you're putting out.
That's great.
Suwanee, thank you so much for giving us this recipe. And thanks again for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thank you, Doug. You have a wonderful day.
You too. You can follow Suwanee on Instagram at simply.suwanee and find more recipes on her website at simplysuwanee.com. Do you have a recipe? Share it with us. Just visit our website at www.pittsburghdish.com and look for our Share a Recipe form. If you enjoyed the show, consider buying us a coffee for this episode or supporting the show monthly. You can find links to those options at the bottom of our show description. And if you want to follow my own food adventures, you can find me on social media at Doug Cooking. That's our show for this week. Thanks again to all of our guests and contributors, and to Kevin Selecki of Carnegie Accordion Company for providing the music to our show. We'll be back again next week with another fresh episode. Stay tuned.